Maybe you got this twice today, but you know what? We're working at the Kinks. We're on YouTube right now, so you know we gotta be super on top of our game. So we want to make sure that y'all get this information and you get it right.
Brought my father's dream to light, my cup is running over. They shed no tears in a minute.
We're a little ghetto tonight, please forgive us. We're going to get it right, right?
Still we give you praise.
We'll catch y'all on the rebound. But anyway, appreciate you guys for coming in tonight, talking with us, talking to us.
Jesus, we needed to work. But I'm a sinner, so I ain't never found no peace in the church. John the Baptist with these locusts making music from my wilderness. On my road to healing, met some soldiers on my pilgrimage. I love the church and
you know, that's the one thing that cracks me up. When people talk about how cold it is outside. And I'm like, you live in Colorado. You understand that, right? You don't live in Florida. You don't live in the Keys. You don't live in Southern California. You're in Colorado. The state alone almost spells cold. Right. So you should know that you're gonna be cold when you're in Colorado. But anyway, with that, having said that, today we are talking about financial wealth and financial independence within the black community. Is it real? Is it fake? Is it something that is attainable? Is it a myth? Is it something that we will be able to partake of, you know, in our careers or in our lives or in our children's lives? Mm-hmm. But we're talking about that today because we think it's an issue. Because a lot of us are spending the right time in the wrong places. Right. We're spending our money on things that we shouldn't be spending our money on, and we're kind of spinning our wheels. We took a little bit of time on this show, so you guys please bear with us because we got some good information to share with you guys, and you know we always come with it on the Mike and Night Show. You know we always come with it. For sure. So if you guys just be patient with us, give us a little bit of time right now, and we're going to get back at you. Don't forget, the music that we playing tonight is local music. This is Denver bred, Denver grown, Denver cultivated. We got Andwele, and we're going to have a little Jody in here for you a little later on. At Ease. At Ease is his name. But anyway, check this out.
Good to be back, bro. Long time coming. Yeah. Let's get it. Give it all to God on. Yeah. Yeah. Made it from the block. All my brothers beat the odds. Yeah. 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 I throw my ribbon in the sky cause it was written like I'm Nas. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Chuck the deuces to the suckers and the frauds. Yeah. Yeah. Grace so amazing, gotta give it all to God. Stay dedicated, thought we never make it. Was heartbroken through the storm, I put my foot on pavement. Pain pushed me to my purpose, now my soul is stainless. They asked me, dwelling where you been, I say don't rush my greatness. This ain't that conscious rap these fiends is used to. Cause where I'm from, we Sam Cassell, we got that rocket tuck, you keep it neutral. 100 beams is on your head that look like chicken.
So check this out. Just for you guys that are getting in here late or didn't know, if you want to stream our video or share our video, we're also on YouTube now. So if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can go ahead and do that. Same name, Mike and Mike at night. If you're here at nighttime, you're here at the right time. But anytime is a good time as long as you come in and tag and share when you see the video. And I know some of you guys have been fed, some of you guys have been tagging and sharing, and we appreciate the love, support, and protect that you give us. So what we wanted to talk about a little bit, or just get into a little bit, was the financial freedom, or the journey for financial independence within the black community. And I want to let my man come in with some questions before we get all the way in there. What's up, Nate?
Oh, there we go. So now we know you can hear us. That's what's up. Okay, we want to talk about how important financial freedom is within our community. And when we talk about having financial freedom, we're talking about the ability not to only pay our bills, because everyone struggles to do that. And the key word there is struggle. We should be tired of struggling to pay our bills. There are other things in life that we should seek to improve our community, and that goes beyond just paying bills. So one of the first questions that I want to ask you, let's talk about myths about getting rich, for instance. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about, let's talk about the football player or the basketball player or the rapper or the singer or the actor and things of that nature. Now, we're not saying that you can't make it off of those things. Obviously, we have millions of entertainers in this world who do actually get paid a good amount of money to do so.
But are they in the majority?
They are definitely not in the majority. So I would say if you have talent in sports, if God blessed you with a great voice to go sing, or if you're an actor, or if you're into theater, then you can use those tools to actually get your schooling paid for. You can get a scholarship. Make sure it's something that you enjoy doing, so that in the future you're not burdened down by your job. You're not just paying your bills. You actually have some financial stability in your life, being able to move forward. So let's just say that the sports thing, while you can make it, there's an astronomical chance that you will not. Most people just simply do not make it in those type of leagues and things of that nature. So let's make that our third or fourth option, even when we're talking about trying to get rich, because those things just typically don't happen for average people.
And not necessarily, and I know my man said that that can be another option, but what I want to say is this, that can be in a way diversifying your money-making portfolio.
Sure.
There are different ways in which we can make money, and sometimes entrepreneurship is a very good way to make money, but it's not always the best way to make money.
Absolutely.
So I think that if you are going to be an athlete, there should be other things that you diversify in, that you're going to invest in, so that you can seek, or so that you can reach that financial freedom that you're looking for. Avery Morehouse says, I don't like when people use the church as a platform to cross over to hip hop. Oh, wow.
That's deep.
You know what? Wow. You just threw that in there for free. I get that. And some people see hip hop as a way out of the ghetto. And he is absolutely right. When gangster rappers cross over, they do sometimes get rejected because the music isn't as good. I'm just going to be honest with you. Now, there are multiples, and as Vanessa just chimed in and confirmed, there are multiple ways in which you can seek financial freedom. And it seems as though, and this is kind of what I'm getting at, it seems as though as black people, we have saturated the entertainment industry when it comes to seeking financial freedom and wealth. And we do that, I believe, based on the fact that a lot of us are financially illiterate.
Unstable and illiterate.
Mm-hmm. We don't understand what it means to have generational wealth because we haven't seen that displayed, and we don't know anyone who has actually exhibited financial wealth. Most of the homes that I know when it comes to black people, we don't have 50, 100, 200 year-old homes, or homes that have sat on a plot of land for 50 or 60 years, generations owned by just one family. Now, I know you do see that sometimes down south, but that's just something that we don't necessarily see in our communities. Generally, what would happen is it's grandma's house, grandma passes, the kids sell the house, divide the money, and there's that.
We definitely don't do that. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about that strip mall right there that's on 47th and Albrook, and how, wow, wouldn't it have been amazing if several years ago we all came together when prices and property was cheap and property taxes were cheap, and bought that land and actually were able to give back to our own community. Well, that time has passed us, but it's never too late. And so that's another reason why we're having this discussion here today, because we honestly believe that together we can conquer all of these ills that are facing our community. And definitely there's got to be finances involved in this. And if we steadily are taking our monies and putting them toward things that are not benefiting us, be it our health, be it our ability to move forward and actually have real money to buy real things that will appreciate in the future.
You know, Nathan brings out something very interesting, and in the green room we were discussing this about how we don't live within our means, and we do try to impress others And that was something that we were going to get to. Could you get to that real quick
Sure.
before we go on? Because that actually ties into what we were going to talk about today.
Yeah, so like one of the questions we had, Nate, was do we present more wealth than we build wealth?
Right. Do we present more wealth than we build wealth? Now, this is coming from a guy who's sitting here wearing Ralph Lauren and a fitted cap. But that ain't no real money. Let me just be honest with y'all. That ain't no real money.
So it's having a Rolex. Is that real money, or is that something that you could have took your money and invested something else in?
That's not real money. And when I say real money, what I'm talking about is generational. Not have to work at making money every day. Now, there's one thing about not having to work, but this is my thing. You can sit at home any day. Nobody has to work. But what I'm saying is working at providing for yourself. A lot of people have to go to work to provide for themselves. Some people don't. Some people are in different situations. Be it they allow other entities to provide for them, or they allow family members to provide for them, or maybe they're living off of some type of fund or something.
Can you just tell our people the different types of income?
Well, we have, with the different types of income, we have passive income and we have active income. Active income is when you are exchanging your hours for dollars.
Basically, your 9 to 5.
Basically, your 9 to 5, whatever that is. Or if you're a laborer, or if you do little odd jobs for money, those are all active forms of income. Now, passive income is a little different because passive money allows your money to work for itself, which basically means it can make money for you and you don't have to trade your time to see a return. Some examples of a passive income are the stock market, investing. Maybe if you have some type of product that you've put inside of the stores, you don't actually have to sit there for that product to sell in order to make money. You can leave it there and then you can wait on your return. There are a lot of different ways that you can build a passive income, but most of the passive income that you will build outside of the stock market will primarily be in entrepreneurship, where you're moving either products, goods, or services.
Okay.
In which maybe you're running a business or you're having people work for you or things of that nature.
So that's going to lead me to ask you this. So is financial freedom a reality in the black community? Now, we know the little bit of money that we do get, and we're talking about, when you talk about generational wealth, buying 10 pair of Jordans is not necessarily going to lead to generational wealth. So is that something, do you think that that our people could actually come together on to build something to help our community? For instance, I was talking about that little piece of land the other day that was dirt cheap 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Man, we could have got such a good price on that land, and that would have built generational wealth and stability within our community. But it seems like we're past on those sort of opportunities, nor do we have the togetherness that other cultures and races display to be able to do these sort of things. So obviously there's hope for that, but do you think that's something that we could attain?
I definitely think it's something that we can attain. And Avery, I'm going to get to your comment here in a second. I think that one of our primary problems is that we don't see it exhibited as much as we should within our communities, within our homes, friends and relatives. We don't see it, and a lot of times when we don't see that, it's hard for us to imitate that. So what we see most of in our community is people becoming famous or financially independent off of sports and rap. So we've gone to high school. We all know that we've had a few black people from our high schools actually make it to the pros, and they seem to be doing pretty well. And once they do make it to the pro, we see less and less of them. We definitely don't see them as much as we did when they were in high school.
For sure.
So I'm just saying that to say that may be a good way to go, but it's not always the path less traveled.
So you think that that's actually kind of a problem, that those that are actually making it out of the community, be it through sports or whatever else, are maybe not giving back as they should to the community? Certainly it seems like that to me. Like you said, we see less and less of these people. And let's face it, there are those that didn't make it in sports, made it in other type of ways, and just still have not given it back. But I want to shout out to those that have. For instance, there's a young man, I forget his name, but he was groomed right here at the Boys and Girls Club here at Montbello, and he recently donated $75,000 to the Darren Williams Boys and Girls Club of Montbello. So there are those stories where people have given back and continue to support the community.
Well, Nathan speaks about Montbello, in which he says that we need to have a strong community leadership to bring the people together, and that is a problem in and of itself. We don't have a community presence,
Right.
per se, within our black communities. Now, I do know that I would say that Montbello probably takes the short end of that when we talk about the quote-unquote black communities within Denver, Colorado, because, I mean, on the east side, you do have Brother Jeff that kind of helps the east side in the way of offering food and assistance to mentorship. And then you also have Terrence Roberts in Park Hill, who kind of does that within his community.
Right.
But they have ran into the same issue that Nathan talks about here, and that's that it's a problem in and of itself when people look down on one another and do not know said person. We do tend to feel like we don't want someone to get quote unquote too big for their britches, or they're trying to get rich off us, or they're trying to make a name for themselves, and so we don't stand behind the leaders that have the ability and the strength to lead us as black people.
Sure.
And honestly, I don't know if we necessarily need black leadership as much as we need black responsibility. I think if we were responsible for ourselves and we invested in ourselves more within the community, we wouldn't necessarily need someone to show us that. But here on the Mike and Knight show, we do try and bring that aspect of each one teach one, and we do try to bring that aspect of supporting each other in the way of teaching each other what is best inside of our community.
Absolutely, such is the purpose that we actually sit right here broadcasting to you all today. It has nothing to do with us personally. It's our love for our community. While we do this here at the Mike and Mike Night Show, we do appreciate your support. Please tag and share this video.
And exactly, and we have already told you guys that. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we've told you guys that we enjoy you all's comments when you come in here and speak with us. The things that you have to say, we enjoy that, and we are able to eat and we feed off of each other when it comes to that. Most definitely, Mrs. Clark, we do try to feed our community when it comes to that. Probably not in a literal sense as in giving food, but we give food for thought and try to educate each other on how we should conduct ourselves, how we should conduct our homes, and how we should conduct our actions within our community.
Right. So, kind of speaking on that, so what are some of the primary financial commitments in black households? We want to talk about that because we do think that is an issue where we're spending our money and not necessarily putting it into the right places. So together we can come up with sort of a solution or a blueprint. So let's first talk about the things that we're maybe spending money on that we should not spend money on, that if we just took a little bit here and there and put that to the side, that could lead to something in the future. Fruitful.
And let me say this too. Let me add this in there. I'm also talking about our brown community, and you all know how we feel about you all as well.
Absolutely.
When we talk about the black community, I want to say this real quick. We talk about the black community to the extent that we also include you all into who we are, because we know that you face some of the same struggles.
Sure.
We understand that you face some of the same struggles.
Regardless of your color.
Regardless of your color. We even have Caucasians that we know, like Chuck Lowe, that grew up in the hood with us and had to go through Israel, that had to go through the same thing that we went through. Nathan, we went to school together. We understand what this is in our community. So when I talk about that, I don't want you guys to feel like we're excluding you guys, because you're not. You're a part of this problem and you're a part of the solution as well.
Yes.
So we reach out to Latin Americans that have shared our community with us for so long, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, matter of fact, you guys are growing stronger in number than we are, but that's a show for a whole nother day, right?
Gentrification.
Yeah.
and such.
Yes, but back to what you were saying in your question once again.
I was asking you, what is the primary financial commitment when it comes to black homes in general?
Now, when we're talking about financial commitment, this is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the bills that you have to pay. I'm not talking about the heat, the electricity, the water, and the groceries and things along those lines. I'm not talking about those things. What I'm talking about and what I'm speaking to specifically are the things and the money that you spend on things that could easily go into another direction that you choose to spend on
Sure.
what any given. So that can mean, and it's funny that there is. I know I'm being a little loosey-goosey around the house a little bit, but I just want to say that it's funny that the same exact things that we engage in to feel like we can build financial wealth are the same things that we spend a whole lot of money on inside of our homes. We watch a whole lot of sports and we spend money on sports attire, Jordans. We watch a lot of movies in our home. We spend money on a lot of movies. And that's the one thing that we think that we can do to gain financial wealth. We spend a lot of money trying to give the persona of wealth. But we spend very little time actually building the wealth.
Right.
We give the persona, but we don't build it the same. We don't put as much fervor into building wealth as we do in giving the persona of wealth.
And some of the things that we think look good and we think that we're giving the persona of wealth is just trash anyway, guys. Let's just face it. Some of the stuff that we're wearing is knockoff anyway. Some of the things that we're purchasing. And I'm going to give you an example of myself, for instance. So I had made a purchase one day last week. And then I thought to myself, wow, this will probably last me an hour or two. So you know what I said I'm going to do? I said I'm going to take that same money and I'm going to tuck it away somewhere so that I could use it for something that's actually going to benefit me in the future. So it's all about making sacrifices as well. When we talk about some of the things that broke people have, you know what that is. Broke people always seem to got some weed, right? Broke people always got something to sip on, right? Broke people tend to have a lot of the things that they don't necessarily need. And if they would just take that and distribute it in other places, it could benefit them.
You know, you're absolutely right. And in what we were saying about giving that persona of wealth and not actually building wealth, but you touched on something there. And when you were talking about how you're actually spending that loose change or whatever that you have. Now, when we were on the other show that we had done before getting rid of this, we had kind of talked about how we're actually investing that cash, not in entertainment purposes, but investing that cash in ourselves,
right?
And in financial literacy. Mm-hmm. One of the main problems is that we as black people seem to be somewhat financially illiterate. Not only that, but we seem like we choose not to educate ourselves because, I mean, you had said something in the green room about, well, we haven't been taught. Right. But there's a difference between being taught and choosing to learn.
Right, because the knowledge is out there. Any knowledge that you seek nowadays, it is most certainly available. So to not do it when it's there for you, you almost have to start looking at yourself in the mirror. You can't blame the fact that our parents didn't necessarily teach us, or our grandparents,
school didn't teach us,
or the school didn't teach us, when we have all the responsibility on our own selves to go out there and seek that knowledge.
And to teach ourselves. I mean, education first starts with you. You have to be able to look for that. We're in the information age, people. So if there's something that we want to know, then we can definitely get that information, and we can get that information quickly in the day and age that we live to. I want to get to some of you all's comments right now, so just give me a minute while I get on those comments. I know if you guys have joined late, so I do want to remind you that if you know people that don't have Facebook, we are also now going live on YouTube. This is why it was kind of a little quirky today, but we're also going live on YouTube, so you can go to Mike and Mike at Night on YouTube Live, and we're there as well. You'll see the exact same show that you're seeing right now with just a different video angle. So there's that. When you watch TV, we see black people that look like us wearing clothes, and we want to look like what we see on television. And the people who own the television network know we are watching. So they are marketing it towards us. That's what we want what they have. And you're absolutely right when he says that. I want to kind of explore that comment a little bit more, because he said when we watch TV and we see the people that own the network, we as black people, we look more and invest more into playing the game than we do in actually running the game. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what I mean. We look at what we have to do, and we put in so much time, commitment, hours, blood, sweat, tears to play the game. But we spend very little time or effort in running the game. Now, I want to tell you guys something. Leanne, thanks for joining us. Kira, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all's comments. If you guys didn't hear it, let me tell you now, make sure you tag and share the video. Go to YouTube and subscribe as well. Check this out. If we spend as much time in running, jumping, shooting basketballs as we do in owning a business, learning what a ROI is, learning how to invest our cash, learning how to make our money work for us, as Vanessa said earlier, then we would be running the game instead of playing the game. We look up to people that play the game, but we know very little about those who run the game.
Right.
Now, when we look at the NFL, there are 32 owners in the NFL.
Yeah.
But you know what? We can name 32 players in the NFL, but we can't name those 32 owners.
No, we can't.
And they're running the game.
And also, how many of those owners are African American?
None of them.
What percentage of the NFL players are African American?
Probably about, I would say, upwards of 75%.
75%, something like that. So that just shows you that there's a discrepancy. And that's a prime example of what my man is talking about playing the game and not running the game.
We need to learn how to run the game. And when we're looking at people on television, like Avery said, these people are running networks. They're running networks. And we just want to be an actor. Why can't we figure out, you guys understand that when some few black people like Oprah Winfrey and Jay-Z and Dr. Dre decided to quit playing the game, when Dr. Dre said, I don't want to be a rapper no more, I want to be a businessman, and what did Jay-Z say? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. When he said that, when Oprah said, you know what, y'all can have the acting, I'm going to own me a network. That's when they made the real money. And this is what we need to get inside of our heads as black people. Quit trying to play the game and learn how to run the game. There's ways that you can run the game. I'm going to tell you, if you can quote a whole rap song, then you can learn the S&P 500.
Absolutely.
Okay? You could have been a part of that whole GameStop deal that just went down. If you can just educate yourself on how to build wealth, you wouldn't have to look to somebody for a job, fill out a job application or anything like that. We are by nature entrepreneurs. We can sell things by ourselves. We sold rap. We invented rap, sold rap, and made more money doing it than anybody else in the world. People pay. I heard a quote, I think it was on Big Sean, that said that we are responsible for, and we outsell people's native music. Rap music outsells people's native music.
It's the largest genre on the earth.
It's the largest genre of music on the earth that we created in the ghettos and the urban areas of America. But guess who's benefiting off of it? Guess who's making the most money off of it? That should not be.
It ain't us.
It's not us. That should not be. Let me get to some more of these comments. I know you guys are busy in here, but I'm going to get to as much of you guys as I can. Vanessa Adams says every dime will go towards bills and necessities. Saving is most definitely necessary. We should. Jock says sometimes you have to learn to do without when you can.
Sacrifice.
We have to sacrifice. We are consumers and we need to stop unnecessary spending. That is definitely true, Leanne. We thank you for watching us and joining us today. We appreciate that love, support, and protect whenever you can get it, give it to us. Marcus Williams, thank you for having us in your home and on your phone. You know what I'm saying? So, Shira, shout out to you as well. Start buying silver, pure silver, so you can do your research or whatever. Pearl, thank you for joining us again. Don't forget to tag and share the video. Y'all start sharing these videos, all right?
Please.
Because some of y'all ain't even sharing the videos. So y'all ain't helping out your brothers and sisters. What was our thing? Each one, teach one.
LSP.
LSP, that love, support, and protect. If you're getting fed, then go ahead and feed somebody else. But let me just say this, that we invest too much time. We're spending the right time in the wrong places. And all I'm saying is this, is that if we work with each other on how to build that generational wealth, it can become a thing of the past. See, what we see a lot of times, and I would even go as far as to say even in the Hispanic community, is the inculcation of wealth is almost like a religion within the home. But spending money in the black home is more like a religion.
Right.
Because
we need validation. And that's why we look up to the people that we look up to, the people we see on TV, our entertainers, our rappers, our ball players, and things of that nature, because we use them to validate us. And the truth is that we don't need those things to be validated. Who are you on the inside? That's what's the most important thing. And to be honest with you, hey, if I got a pair of Chucks on and a raggedy pair of boots, guess what? Maybe I did some hard work today, so I'm validated for looking like that, or I'm validated for having the things that I do have. Do I want to have nice things? Absolutely, just like everybody else. But at what cost? And what am I willing to sacrifice for that? And if I could just take a small sacrifice and take that $37 that I would have otherwise spent on a bottle of Hennessy, what if I put that into a share?
The Fed said today that the median income for earners from 35 to 44, maybe some of you guys have caught that, the net worth of people from 35 to 44, the mean was $90,000.
Is that just Americans in
The
general?
average, no, yeah, Americans in general. The average was somewhere around $765,000. So what I'm saying is this, is that people, the money is there. The money is there. All we have to do is figure out ways in which we can get to it. Because honestly, it's trying to get to us. But we're running from it because we're spending it faster than we're replacing it, and we're spending it on the wrong things. We're investing money. That's not a problem. What was the numbers that we had before on black spending in America? What was that about?
We said that if black people in America were their own country, we'd have the world's 15th largest income.
The world's 15th largest income, tucked away right here inside of the good old US of A. Because we are a people that are not only very resilient, but we are very smart, and we can overcome many odds. I was just talking to my brother. My brother was talking to me in the mobile green room about overcoming some obstacles that we have found. We are awesome when it comes to that. We have a lot of energy. We have a lot of time on our hands. A lot of us do, and we spend that in the wrong channels.
Absolutely. And let's just talk about COVID a little bit. This is a perfect opportunity to be investing in some other type of things, because guess what? You don't have the option to throw a bunch of your money away going to the theater, going to the game, and doing things of that nature. So right now, if you didn't learn a new trick during the COVID season about how to maintain some sort of what's the other wealth? The
Passive income.
Passive income. I think that probably you need to get on that. Now would be a good time to try to figure out how to get passive income.
How to build passive income. Mm-hmm. And primarily what that comes from, and I was going to reiterate that fact, is it comes from that passive income comes from entrepreneurship, and we need to be better entrepreneurs within our community.
Sure.
Jock says he keeps losing connection. I'm sorry, brother. I hope you guys hang in there with us. If you are losing connection, right now we're running a YouTube Live and Facebook Live at the same time.
We'll get it figured out.
But we get it figured out. Don't even worry about it. Just work with us. But we do got y'all. But check this out. That passive income comes probably directly from entrepreneurship. We have to be entrepreneurs and learn how to build our own wealth. What we said on the show previously, and I don't know if you guys caught that, Alexis Tate, thank you for joining us. Showed me a good time on my birthday down there in Phoenix, so I do appreciate that. But what we need to learn how to do is to be entrepreneurs, and that comes from developing and learning different ways to build wealth. We should be spending time on this every day. When we come together with friends, when we come together with family, why can't we sit together? We can sure enough argue.
Right.
Why can't we argue about how much money we can make and who should be making the most money and how we can make the most money? Please don't, and that meatloaf was amazing, but I'm getting off the subject, but I did appreciate that. We don't spend enough time creating new ways. What we do as a black community is we get into markets and explore venues that have been saturated. Okay, there are millions in these industries. There are hundreds and thousands of people trying to rap, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't you shouldn't pursue your dream. If you're rapping and you're good at what you do, by all means continue to do it, but don't let it stop there.
Sure.
If you do have a 9-to-5, allow that 9-to-5 help you to build more wealth. Don't let that 9-to-5 sit right there. That 9-to-5 needs some muscle. That 9-to-5 needs some hustle. Like we said, exactly. Like we said before. A job stands for just over broke. Okay. Poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. You can create your own opportunities, but by being an entrepreneur, you can cut out the middleman. So what we should be doing is allowing the wealth that we build at the job, at the just over broke, to help put us in a financial position to make us financially independent. That's what we can do right now as black people.
No doubt, my brother. Appreciate you spitting that little gem out there. Hey, even I learned something new on the Mike and Mike show every night, so that's most definitely a good thing here. So.
Well, you know what? We try to give as much as we can to the community, and you guys, please apologize. I do apologize if I go a little bit too hard or beat the dead horse a little bit too much. I don't know if that's my brother trying to show me, but listen, what I'm saying is this, people, that we have all of the resources within our grasp right now to have the independent wealth that we need.
We're the world's 15th largest economy.
Say that
you
one
mean
more
to tell
time.
me we're the world's 15th largest economy?
And we're
right
not talking about
right?
we're not talking about the Caucasians and everybody else. We're talking about just black people.
Just black people.
Just our dollar alone.
And you mean to tell me that we don't have the resources that we can throw together to own an NFL team?
You know, and the problem,
to own an NBA team?
And the problem is right here. I'm going to tell you something, because we're always wrapped up and worried about what they are going to do for us. Now, do I think this country owes us? Damn right, I believe they owe us. Do you think? Do I feel like they should give it to us? Damn right, I believe that.
You feel like they gonna give it to us?
I don't know, but this is my thing. I'm not gonna concentrate on that. You know, I hear a lot of people talking about, well, if this person is president and that person is president, what does that have to do with you and your independent wealth? What does the president have to do with you securing a future for yourself and your family?
Like that's
very
the
little
reason that you are making her fail.
No,
right?
exactly. Very little.
Right.
Very little. There have been millionaires come out of ghettos under horrible presidents. There were millionaires made in 2020. Don't let somebody tell you that, you know, you hear people say, oh, 2020 was a horrible year and this was bad and that was bad. Well, maybe it was bad for you. But let me tell you something. I got a little secret for you guys. If 2020 was bad, 21 ain't getting no better. Okay? Because you're master of your universe. You decide how to make it and how to not to make it. I was just watching Shark Tank the other day. There were plenty of entrepreneurs on there who figured out ways during the COVID-19 tragedy and the pandemic that we're facing right now to build wealth for themselves.
Yeah. This is the time to become an entrepreneur, really. If you've resisted that in the past and were just content doing your JOB, your just over broke thing, man, now will be the most perfect opportunity. And I'm going to tell you what, you may not have another opportunity like this come around. Hopefully that we don't have another pandemic anytime in our lifetimes, but chances are we will. So we need to be prepared for that sort of thing too. But now is the time. And I am noticing, in all fairness, a lot of my people in the community are doing little things for themselves. They're starting T-shirt businesses and candle businesses, and
I get that.
You know
I get that, and I appreciate that, and that's how you jump that entrepreneurship off. But even if you're doing T-shirts, if you're doing candles, don't stop there. There's other things that you can do to build that passive income. You know what? If you build making some T-shirts, go drop them off in a few stores. Don't ask people to pay for them before they buy them. Go talk to the store owner and ask him if he doesn't mind getting these on consignment. Right. And whatever he sells, you guys can talk about that afterwards. Get your foot in the door that way. There's other things that you can do. So a lot of these apartment buildings out here don't have trash service. And when I say trash service, meaning that a lot of single women live inside of apartment buildings, and a lot of lazy people live inside of apartment buildings, and they don't want to take their trash out. You can start a trash service where you go around to all the homes, pick up the trash and dump it for them. They just set it outside their door. I'm going to tell you, there's a plethora of different, and I'm just giving you one. Try to stay out, if I could give you any advice, try to stay out of saturated markets. Go into markets where you don't have a whole lot of competition, because if you do have a whole lot of competition, that's going to drive down the value of your product and the cost of your, well, probably not the cost of your goods and service, but the price that you can ask for when you are marketing that product. That's going to suffer if it's saturated. If I don't buy T-shirts from you, then I can buy them from them. If I don't buy candles from you, I can buy them from them.
Kind of like joining the rap game, right?
It's kind of like joining the rap game. If you know it's all about time and opportunity. If you're not in the right place at the right time, and you're not working as hard as you need to make that dream come true, chances of you making that dream come true aren't very good. But anyway, hey, we appreciate you guys for joining us here on the Mike and Mike at Night show. Thank you guys for having us here. Again, we want to remind you, make sure that you tag and share this video. If you want to get on YouTube, we're on there, Mike and Mike at Night. And we also want to send you guys away with some parting words. Black people and brown people as well. If there's anybody that you need to forgive, you need to go ahead and forgive them. If there's anything that you need to say sorry for, go ahead and do that, because life is too short. Hey, we love you guys on the Mike and Mike at Night show. Hey, we hate to see you go, but we got to leave. You ain't got to go home, but you do got to leave here. We're going to leave you guys with the little Jody today. My man, at ease. I'm sorry, I keep calling him by his government. We got my man at ease in the house, and this is that Fall to Fly, one of my favorites. But appreciate you guys for being here today. Hey, take it easy. Love, support, and protect.
What's understood ain't gotta be explained, but if you must explain, make sure the information is retained. They always tell us to rise and to touch the skies, but we never realize we gotta fall to fly, and within that process we'll be fortified. The seed is planted at about 4 to 5 years old with a clear soul. Although fears grow and tears flow, a leap of faith says here goes nothing.
somebody that you can trust in. I'm done sitting aside, I'ma bust in. Only one at the finish line, it's a must win. With a flow that'll crush men. At the same time, try to get a piece of they soul back. But it's hard when they sold that. Brick and mortar, take a look. Heat the water when I cook. They be thinking that